Welcome to GS 301 Entrepreneurship Studies. Study Session 4, Module 2, Sources of Business Finance. Introduction. Funding is a very vital aspect of a business. Therefore, this study session discusses the various ways of raising capital for your business. It is not only for a business that is just starting, but also for an existing business. Apart from fund acquisition, management of funds in business is also reflected in this study. Learning outcomes. At the end of this Module 2, Study Session 4, you should be able to define and explain correctly all the keywords. Explain the criteria for acquisition and allocation of funds. List and explain the personal and family sources of funds. Define internal sources of funds. Identify the different classification of external sources of funds. Explain the basic requirements for seeking a loan facility. Recognize how small and medium enterprises are funded in Nigeria. Identify the challenges of small and business scale. Acquisition and allocation of funds. Acquisition and allocation of funds is central to the success of any business venture. One of the main problems facing effective management of small-scale enterprises is lack of basic financial management skills needed to guide the business venture. Sources of funds for venture. Financing is the use and manipulation of money. Raising money for a business is one aspect of financing. There are different forms of raising funds open to the entrepreneurs. These sources vary in terms of the volume of funds that can be accessed, the cost of the funds, and the security required to obtain the funds. The choice of individual entrepreneur will be determined by the following, as suggested by Olanye and OEB 2002. The personal and the family. This source of fund is peculiar to a new venture, although it may also be applicable to an existing venture, particularly loans from friends and relations, as explained below. Personal savings, loan from family and friends. Internal sources. An internal source of fund is peculiar to an existing venture. The internal generated fund can emanate from the following sources: retained profit, provisions, reducing current assets. External sources. The external sources of funds are those that are obtained outside the venture. The external sources can be subdivided into three, namely short-term finance, medium-term finance, long-term finance. Short-term finance. Short-term financing involves obligation debts that have maturity date or less than 1 year. The typical example of short-term finance includes goods purchased on credit, outstanding short-term loans from banks, accrued payments such as deferred taxation, salaries and wages, etc. Some of the methods of short-term financing are open account or trade credit or account payable, account receivable financing, bank overdraft facilities, note payable, commercial draft, bill of exchange, loans from acceptable houses, specialized institutions, factoring, discounting bills, medium-term financing, bank loans. Long-term finance. As the name suggests, this type of finance requires that funds will be at the disposal of the business venture for a very long period of time. The sources of funds that fall under this category include equity finance or shareholders fund, bonds or debenture, mortgage financing. Reasons why entrepreneurs will require loan facilities. Generally, entrepreneurs will require credit facility for the following reasons: normal operations, expansion purpose, financial difficulties. Summary. In this study session, you have been exposed to the different ways of sourcing funds for business enterprises. These include criteria for acquisition and allocating fund, The internal and external sources of funds were described. The problems associated with funds for SMEs from banks were discussed. Long-term funding in terms of equity, bonds or debenture and mortgage financing were highlighted. The unit is concluded with reasons why entrepreneurs will require loan facilities. End of study session 4, module 2. Thanks for listening.